Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our series on the beginner's guide to Warhammer 40k's tabletop game, and today we are talking about the Death Guard. The Death Guard are a crazy version of Space Marines that are devoted to the dark god of Nurgle. So in today's video we are going to be talking about briefly and just a quick overview of their lore, some of their tactics, and a beginner's guide to buying them. The beginner's guide is going to be roughly $100, if not a little bit more or a little bit less, but I digress. Anyway, what are the Death Guard? The Death Guard are what happens when you take the Space Marine and you decide to roll him around in some ooze, some blood, and some gross nasty stuff that you found on the side of the road. They are the disease-ridden, plague-spreading version of the normal Space Marines. Their path has led them to the darker visions, well, not the darker visions, it led them down a darker path of the god Nurgle, the chaos god Nurgle. Nurgle is the chaos god of death and renewal, disease, pestilence, and well, not really stagnation. He is the culmination of the infinite circle of nature. In a sense, Nurgle is an eternal. It has to exist in order for things to die and for things to regrow and become more prosperous. The Nurgle Chaos Space Marines are deluded, to say it simply. They think that they are happy in their suffering and their plague spreading, but in reality, it is just the delusions of a madman who has gone too far down the path to see anything different. No, they do not feel the pain that is inflicted upon their body through the pestilence, through the diseases, through the rot and decay that covers their armor. They spread it and send the love of Papa Nurgle. They believe that this pestilence, rot, and disease are none other than gifts from their gods themselves that they must spread to the universe at large. The Chaos Space Marines are the only current, the Death Guard are the only current legion favored by Nurgle. There are other legions dedicated or warbands dedicated to Nurgle, but the most well-known is the Death Guard. So, getting into it. What is their tactics? Well, like Nurgle demons in the previous videos, Nurgle is about surviving, which is rather amusing considering that they're about death and renewal. But their gross nastiness grants them the disgustingly resilient trait, which is a 5+ feel no pain. A feel no pain being after you take a wound, you roll a dice to ignore the damage of said wound. The Nurgle Marines are tough, and very hard to remove from objectives once parked on them. This is their main strategy. Sit and park on objectives. Hold your opponent in close combat for the entirety of the game. Hold your opponent at bay with bodies upon bodies upon bodies, forcing your opponent to stay back or face the wrath of the rot. In this type of fight, it is very siege-like warfare, where you are slowly moving up the board rather than moving fast like Slanesh, using magics like Tzeentch, or using raw brute force like Khorne. Nurgle is about survivability. Park on an objective, get that objective, hold that objective, that objective is yours. This is why Maelstrom games favor the Nurgle Marines. So keep that in mind when you start playing them. Same with the Eternal War. Their damage output is very high. Also, to note, right up there in the corner, you'll notice that they have a Demon Primarch, a son of the Emperor who has fallen to the Dark Gods, and he has become a beautiful butterfly. I'm just kidding, he became a disgusting moth with a scythe. The scythe is cool. So, that's their basic tactics. Now let's get right into what to buy for Death Guard. So, as always, because they are Space Marines, avoid buying Terminators. They're not good. Though the Nurgle Marine Terminators, the Death Guard Marine, are the Death Guard Terminators, are actually surprisingly good because they are toughness 5, which is something that all Terminators should be, and they should just be toughness 6 to make them different. But I digress. They're still not that good. Do not buy the Deathshroud Terminators unless you are just adding some cool stuff to your army. Right next to it, you'll see a Chaos Land Raider. Don't get that either. It's not that good. So, let's make sure we load all of this, go through their entire collection, and see what you should buy for a patrol detachment for a normal game of Warhammer 40k. Keep in mind, this is a beginner's guide, so I'm not going to tell you advanced tactics. You have to see the continuation of this series in order to see that kind of stuff. I don't believe they actually have a start collecting, oddly enough, but for $100, the easy to build Death Guard collection is surprisingly good. It comes with quite a few good things in there, though it is a little bit all over the place. It does come with the Terminators, but at the same time, it's actually decent for its price, but doesn't come with enough for an actual army. So I would suggest if you want to expand an army, or you're looking for somebody to get you a gift for your army, and everybody's looking to give gifts of Nurgle, you should advise them to get you this. It's a simple buy, simple process, get you this. These guys are really good. They are evil Roombas. But if I were to start Death Guard, where would I go? I'd actually get 2 squads of Plague Marines. I know this is weird because in my previous video about Chaos Space Marines just as a whole, I said buy Cultists. The Cultist Bomb is extremely good, but the Plague Marines are actually surprisingly good themselves. So you could start there. But I still advise starting with either Cultists or where are they? The Poxwalkers. Poxwalkers are dirt cheap. It's their cultist, and for every cultist you can actually turn into a Poxwalker, so you can get a little bit more survivability out of them. They have a 5+ feel no pain on all of their models across the board because everything is disgustingly resilient in their army. This comes with 6, which is an odd number because you would need quite a bit of them. So I would suggest probably 3 of these, putting you at $45. And then I would suggest a Plague Marine box. And maybe... because I always advise... The Demon Prince is always good. Like, the Demon Prince is flat out one of the best choices in this army. This is actually quite a difficult purchase guide. Ooh, what would I get? I do love the Evil Roomba, but I think you should get 2 troops and 1 HQ to start off. And I don't believe that they have a start collecting either, which is rather amusing. So with that being the case, I'd still buy 3 of these for 2 troop choices, and I'd actually buy a Demon Prince of Nurgle. So you can either buy the normal Demon Prince, who I think is right up here. Okay, he's not right here, but you can buy the normal Demon Prince, or you can get the cooler one, which is this guy. He's about the same price as a regular Demon Prince. He's a little bit smaller, and he looks the part. Just say that he can fly. Most opponents will be like, okay, or just put wings on him. If you have friends that have bits and can give you wings, then there you go. Put a Red Bull on his base. Boom, he has wings. It's a simple buy. It gets you your basic starter. From there, I would expand into getting Plague Marines, or I would start with some Plague Marines, 2 boxes of these guys, and then, so that's 35, that's actually 70, and then you can go for one of the Plague Champions, which is one of these guys. Now, you can make a Plague Champion out of the Death Guard box, so really all you need is some of the easy to build Death Guard Marines, and you can actually, so, okay, let me redo this. Okay? Sorry. 2 boxes of easy to build Poxwalkers. 1 box of these. This will get you 3 unique looking characters. Use this one right here as your Plague Champion. And let me just put it out of the way because he has a power fist. It's good enough for one. Then get yourself a box of Plague Marines. This is a great start because you have one 10-man squad, which you can split up into two 5-man squads. You have a bulkier unit of Poxwalkers, and you have a Chaos Lord or 2 Chaos Lords. So you can actually do a battalion out of this instead of just a patrol detachment. From there, you want to start getting the cooler stuff like the Blight Drones, the Evil Roomba from outer space, which is right here, the Death Roomba. I think it's adorable. It's actually just like really cute. I want to put like anime eyes on it because it's just, this thing is adorable. And then you can go into getting some of the bigger characters, your Demon Princes, your evil engines of warfare. The Plague Burst Crawlers are really good. Just still avoid the Terminators. They're not that good. I would avoid the Terminators. I'm not a fan of them. I've never have been. But overall, this army is a good army for a starter player because your stuff will survive quite a bit. And it's a lot of fun when it actually does. So I hope this video was helpful. It was rather short, and you're going to see another short one with the 1,000 Suns. And it's really going to boil down to buy cultists, buy your champion, then buy into your bulk infantry. As always, remember this when building a new army. Get yourself 1 to 2 HQs, 3 troops. Then go from there. Bulk out your troops first before you decide to move on to other things. Otherwise, you can easily become overwhelmed. So keep that in mind as you pursue your Death Guard army. And as always, have fun with the hobby. Don't let anybody stand in your way from having fun. If you enjoyed this video, please check out all the links in the description down below. There you can follow me on all sorts of social media, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I do a lot of streaming on there. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I do streaming. I have a lot of fun. I'm playing Darkest Dungeon at the moment. And please subscribe to this channel. It goes a long way to helping out. Ring that stupid bell icon right there that tells you that I put out new videos, because that's apparently a thing. And if you really want to be super awesome, you can support me on Patreon. Link will be in the description down below. As always, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye.